Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast, a cigar show for the community by the community. A forum that talks stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle. If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, Junkies?
I'm Corey.
I'm Sam.
And I, as always, am Jason.
And we are the Cigar Junkies. And if you're watching this, that means our technical difficulties have ended. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, you know what I mean? Before I get into the call to arms.
Action.
No, I refuse. I refuse. I'm watching you light your cigar. And he lets off the button and he clicked it to ignite it again, but it was still going. Like, that guy might be juiced up just a hair high.
Don't worry about that little guy.
That little guy? Don't worry about it.
That little guy is beat.
What do we do with our equipment, Rabbit?
We test it.
That's right. So, if you're watching this, that means you're a cigar junkie too. And you have an obligation to bring others into the cult. CigarJunkies.com. Go there. Find all the stuff we do. Find our t-shirts. Give money to people. Listen to our show, watch our show, like, subscribe, comment. On which platform, Jason?
All of them.
All of them. Every platform, every time. So, good morning to all the people that are sitting here, because they're the ones in the chat room.
Be our Russian bot farm.
Yes.
We suspected somebody was doing that at one point.
Yep.
And then, unfortunately, they stopped.
Yeah, then they
Those
quit
turds.
Oh.
So, are you still doing the shares?
I just sat down. You were like, let's go. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, some people's kids, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
Can you believe it? How dare he?
So
how was your week?
There you go. Now I have the things I could do the talks about.
How are you now?
I know.
Not so bad. And you? How was my week? Camping was like...
So your week was intense?
Highs and lows. Not my weekends.
Hey, right?
Highs and lows, man. First time we went tent camping in a long time. Lots of rain, dude. Like thunderstorms that give you like Final Destination vibes of like we probably shouldn't be here kind of thing, you know?
I'll tell you what, camping while it's thunderstorming, if you've got a good tent and you're protected, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love camping.
My concern was not necessarily the tent and its ability to hold up to, although it didn't hold up to it super well, because like the rain came from everywhere, and so there were puddles in the tent. Fortunately, like nothing that we couldn't navigate around. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't terrible, and it wasn't thunderstorming while we were sleeping. We were out, not in the tent at the time, so. But my concern was, in my mind's eye, I keep seeing lightning hitting this gigantic tree that is 10 feet away from our tent, and then coming. So, like, me and the kids are all underneath of the canopy, and Shannon ran over to the tent to do something. I don't remember if she was getting changed or if she just went to check on something. She goes in and she finds there's, like, water everywhere, and she's moving stuff around. But I'm like, all right, please don't, like, have this big tree come down on the tent with my wife.
Yeah, that'd be not great.
It would be.
It'd be less than pleasant.
You know, I would not be a good single father. You know what I mean? We need her to hold things down, you know, and not just the tent. So yeah, but it was a lot of really good weather too. So here's the highlight. Sunday we rented a pontoon. Okay, Shannon's friend. We paid her half. So we go out and get on this pontoon, and there's like holes in the upholstery like this big, like somebody's pit bull was in there just tearing into it and stuff. And I was like, it's fine. Like, we'll have a good time on this. We get 100 feet away from the dock, and the thing just craps out. And I'm like, all okay. So I get the phone number, online, call the marina. It's like, hey, this is Corey. We're out on your parts boat. That was like the last one you had left and gave to us. And it was actually, ironically, number one. It was rental number one, they called it, but clearly that was the first boat they ever bought.
Or that was ever
and
built.
It's still in service, yes. So, like...
Oh, reliable.
These two awesome kids roll out on the speedboat that Al Bundy would ride him. The color, the beatness of this boat was only second to the one we were in.
Was it brown or orange?
It was tan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, it may have been either of those colors at one point when it was new in
or both, and it just all bled
1967.
together.
Yeah. So these guys come up and hook up to us and tow us back at like 2 miles an hour. I don't know what that translates to in knots. And we got any sea people here?
Yeah, no,
Is it nautical miles? No.
Nope.
So they tow us back, and we're there for about an hour, and they think that it's the primer valve. And the funny thing is, like, my buddy Dan's there with us, and Dan's a mechanic, so he's like digging into this thing. I'm giving him my Leatherman, like we're trying to, and we get pretty close, but no bueno. So they're like up searching through the parts. They get a new valve, put it on or whatever. And I'm talking to the lady like, all right, so we're already down an hour. So like at this point, I'm expecting to be charged for half of the day at the most. She's like, well, if they get it working, we'll charge you for half of the day. If they don't, we'll refund it. Okay, cool. So they get it running, and we start having a great time. And we go, Shannon says it was mustard color.
Close enough.
Very accurate.
Close enough.
Yeah. So we get down to the other end of the lake, and man, we are having a great time. Just threw the anchor out, like down by the dam, and blasting music, and there's somebody not in my family just getting wasted like we never seen before, which was great because it's always cool to see and not have it be you. So anyway, we're down there partying for a while, and we're like, all right, let's go back. And the boat starts this time, won't move.
Oh.
Well, turns out, like, the gears were worn off, so you could get it to go in reverse only. And I mean, when I mean reverse, I mean the slowest movement you've ever seen in your life.
But you're making progress.
So Shannon was like, we should turn this thing off and like save it for an emergency, like whatever juice this thing's got left in it. And I was like, that's not a terrible idea. So call back to the marina. Hey, it's the guy in the parts boat again. This time we're all the way at the other end of the lake. So like send your boys. And like these boys are like the most rednecky dudes you ever seen in the best way possible.
Where are you?
It's called Shenango Campground.
Yeah.
It's up in up near Hermitage, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
Hermitage?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to go up there. Like
It's a
4 or 5 times a year.
cool. It's a very cool camp. The Army Corps of Engineers runs it. They flooded the valley to make this lake, and then they built this campground so that like all of the sites are super close to the water. There's several bathrooms. There's a couple with showers and stuff. There's playgrounds and volleyball courts and all kinds of stuff. Like the speed limit's low, so kids can ride around on bikes.
Yep.
Although Kieran somehow still managed to get hit by a car like 10 years ago up there.
Oh wow.
Not hard. Like she was fine.
But you got yeah.
So anyways, they come, after forever, they come get us and they start towing us back. And so like I'm like, we ain't paying for this. So like this has been a free day, and I'm cool with that, So not realizing I'm getting sunburned out of my mind on my back. We're towing back, and I got a Bluetooth speaker that's this big that is disturbingly loud for its size. I mean, we're cranking tunes, dude, all over the place on the way back. Like, I got Katy Perry Firework going, and we're all screaming the words and dancing. And these two little redneck boys are just looking back, laughing at us and stuff. I'm trying to chuck them beers. They decline, but they ended up refunding it. So it was all right.
Dude, so many flashbacks to the movie Great Outdoors. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Like, I wanted a pontoon.
I remember when he shoots the bear and the ass.
Big bear, big bear, big bear, big bear, big bear, chase me. Yeah, the bald-headed bear of what was the county? I can't remember. Anyway, did you ever see that movie? Dan Aykroyd, John Candy.
It's probably like flashes of it when I was a kid. Does that make sense? Like when you see, maybe I saw the whole thing, maybe I didn't, but I probably wasn't paying attention because I was young. Whatever.
Yeah, no, that one was on often at our house because just stupid funny, just John Candy funny, easy hysterical. Yeah.
So I did discover my lottery vehicle. Okay. If I ever hit the lottery, the vehicle that I'm going to get, this guy was parked at the end of our block on the campground.
All right.
You ever see this company called Apocalypse that retrofits vehicles and just sells them that way with these kits?
Yeah, they're an upfitter.
Look at Apocalypse TRX, Jason. It is not the triaxle. They do Jeep triaxles. There's several vehicles that they do.
Is it the 6x6?
Yeah, they have them, but this one is a 4x just a 4x4. No, this isn't right. Maybe it is, but I can't tell by looking.
Oh my God!
Just go to
look at that thing.
Well, it looks like a shed.
Can our viewers see it?
Yeah, that's the Bronco. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
these things are nuts. But just look for in Google Images, Apocalypse TRX. If you hit home first, it'll go to Google. I hate that it always defaults to the Yahoo search engine. I can't get rid of it. I've deleted it so many times and it keeps coming back. So this thing it's white. There's this Apocalypse TRX. And this thing is just bananas. My wife was like, that's cool.
That's a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's in that same genre of these.
That black one, second from the top left, that one right there. Yeah. It was that truck, but it was white.
Nice.
The whole thing is sprayed in a rhino liner or something like that.
Oh
wow. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is that? And I see from the back the taillight, and I was like, that's a Ram. And so this guy, while we're complaining about our boat, is coming to secure his rental for later or whatever up at the marina. And I was like, yo, that's your truck? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what kind of Ram is underneath of that? And he says, it's a TRX. And I was like, yo, that's the bangingest ass truck to start with. And you put that on it? He's like, yeah, that's the way they sell them. They bolt on another 125 horsepower or something. Jeez. So it's 850 horsepower, this truck. They start at 169.
Oh wow.
And I was like, yeah. Well, I mean, you can't get it. You can't even touch the TRX base model for under 90, I think.
Oh, really?
New, yeah. That TRX is ridiculous, but it does 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. And it does the quarter mile in 8.9 seconds at 155 miles an hour.
What do you need a truck that fast
It's
for?
Dodge. Their entire marketing team is doing rails off of hookers' asses the entire time they're planning.
It's everybody else is making electric vehicles and stuff and hybrids for the first time. And they're like, what if we put a Hemi in a station wagon?
No, they put a Hellcat in a freaking minivan.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Why?
Why not, bro?
Exactly.
That's what America is founded on. When you say, why do you need that? Why do you need that hat? Why do you need to have, cigars? Why do we need scotch? Because we can. Just tell me how your week was. Ross.
America. My week.
Hey, can we in post? Can we edit bald eagles to fly by as I'm saying that little speech and a flag waving in the background?
I think you broke him.
Yeah,
I think you broke him. No, my week was mostly uneventful. Best part was yesterday. Took the kids out bike riding. Went took them to the bike shop so I could get a part for my bike, so I could size them up for new bikes for their birthday. So that was a little bit.
I was like, what were you buying there? A bong?
No, I actually did need a Presto valve cover. So, a valve stem cover. Except instead of a Schrader valve, like on a car or whatever, these bikes have a different kind of valve stem.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the ass.
Is it that stupid one you have to untwist?
You unscrew it, and then you have to screw the hole.
Bike has that.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. And I mean, I have the pumps and stuff for it, but somewhere along the line, I lost the cover for it. And with those, you really need to cover. Like Schrader valves on a bicycle, you should cover them. It's definitely best practice, but on mine, it's non-negotiable.
I thought Schrader valve is the one you're talking about.
No. Schrader valve is the standard like that your car has. All cars have. Presto valve is the hard assembly for the style that mine is. But no, the problem is without the cap on it, that little inner nut will back out. So every time you ride, it just and lets a little bit out, and it was noticeable.
Sounds like me walking around the house.
Drove me nuts because I was like, all right, they're either on a 16 or a 20 inch now, like they're at that point, but like 20 inch, I think it's a little too big. So I go in. My son's on a 24 inch. Both my daughters are like on the high end of 20 inch, and I'm like, I really just wanted to buy like a bike and have it last more than 3 years this time. Like I really wanted to actually get some time out of this one, but to no avail on that one. We ended up having to get 24-inch bike for him and 20-inch for each of the girls. So now I got to figure out how to take them in and get them actually like the bikes set up for them so we can surprise them with them for their birthday. So debating on the best practice for that. And then, so did that yesterday morning and then had a birthday party last night. So I had a day off yesterday too, which.
How about the Liberty Pool event? How was that?
Oh, I guess that was since the last.
Yeah, we did the show on Friday.
That's right.
So
yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons we didn't do the show on Sunday.
They added one of them. There was a bunch of reasons.
That was your reason.
Yeah. No, it was good. It because of the holiday, it was a little bit less turnout than we normally get. But that place is just, you can't not have fun down there. Like if you're not enjoying yourself down there, it's because you came down there in the wrong mood. Like it's fantastic. It's gorgeous. The way they redid the patio, they added umbrellas, and like the way the seating is a lot more comfortable outside now too. So it was great. Awesome turnout. Awesome crowd. That's it. That's my week. Nothing exciting. Jay?
Smitty?
Worked midnight all week, so nothing.
That's that?
Yep, that was it. Worked midnight all week.
You did work like a little bit different. So we had a guy call off, and so my boss comes over and goes, hey, by the way, you guys are going to have to work your overtime because there was a call off over here and Jason's going to have to go in. I was like, oh, okay. So I go home and it's like 8:00. I wanted to reach out to, I don't remember why I was calling you, if it was about the drone or it was about the show, the Cigar Box Festival, because Jason's going to be doing the sound. But we were trying to determine if he had the date available to do it or not. And I think that was what I was reaching out to you about. And then, but I couldn't get you. I called the extension at work, and then Jason answers. Not this Jason, the other Jason. I go, the hell are you still doing there? Because like he was there since 6:00 in the morning. It's now 8:00 at night. Yeah. I was like, where's Smith? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll call him. So I try him again, don't get him. So I called Jen. I was like, hey, is Jason sleeping? And she goes, yeah. I said, are you at home? No. But my son is. So it was like, okay, so they must have tried to be nice knowing he was sleeping and texted him instead because he was supposed to come in at 11.
Oh, but you didn't know.
Or 10 or whatever. Yeah. And so it was like, well, there was a call off. They must have sent him a text to try not to wake him up, but he was supposed to actually come in at 6. Well, first I just said he was supposed to go in at 6. She's like, oh no. And I'm like, listen, it's not his fault this time. Like, like he wouldn't have known if he didn't get this text message or whatever. And so, then I get a call back from him. He's like, hey, what's going on? And I explain everything.
Oops.
It's like, okay. Well, he wasn't at fault,
If my boss would have called me instead of sending me a text message, I would have known.
Yeah. That's
maybe because I tried calling you numerous times.
Yeah, but you don't He calls a different phone than you.
Ah, okay.
He calls my work phone.
I think I deleted that number.
That's when I started on shift work at Eastman, the schedule was just all over the place. And like, I didn't know, like, I don't know. It was just weird the way that 6 days worked out. Once you get used to it, it's one of those schedules. Once you're used to it, it's mindless. But so every fourth week you have to work a 6-day week. And that's how it moves your days off, as you do that 6-day week. And then the next week, your days off are 1 day earlier, that kind of thing. And I get a call from the shift supervisor on my day off, and he's like, from the guy, one of the guys I work with, and he's like, "Hey, where you at?" It's brewing beer. What's up? And he's like, "What? You coming in?" "No, I'm off today." He's like, "No, you're supposed to be here." And I'm like, I'm looking at the beer in my hand and the pile of bottles sitting next to me, and I was like, "Bro, I'm not gonna make it." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I just straight up, I am not in any condition to drive, let alone work."
Let me clarify. I am brewing and digesting beer.
And he goes, all right, I got you. Call the shift super, though, and let him know you're calling off. I'm like, all right, cool. So I call shift super. And the cool part about that job is like, hey, you covered for me today. If we handled it, they didn't get involved. Like, they didn't care as long as it was handled and it didn't create overtime.
Yeah.
So, like, in this one, I didn't actually have an official call off, and shift super and this guy both took care of me and were like, hey, we got this one. You know, this isn't going to be a thing, right? Because I had just started. I'm like, no, I just didn't read the schedule right. And they're laughing because they're like, yeah, pretty much everybody does that when they first start. Like, this schedule's so, because like they send it to you and it's just a bunch of little squares. And you learn eventually how to follow the squares, and it's no biggie, but it's like reading the Matrix.
Yeah,
you
need to learn it.
Nothing. Oh no, see, I just see blonde, brunette. Yeah, you don't remember that line?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then
I get you.
You were talking about your boat experience. All I could think of was the mask. They gave him the loner. You don't remember that?
I've been there. There was a time early this year where they I ruined my perfect attendance streak because on Thursdays our schedule comes out, right? And so like the schedule came out and was printed. It was like, finalized. Well, they put out a revision and didn't tell me.
Oh.
Or it was like something like the very last second a change was made and I didn't ever look at it again. I went home. I'm like, I got like 4 days off. And my boss was calling me like crazy in the morning. And I was up late. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, where are you at? I'm like, at home. Well, they changed the schedule, but nobody told me. So I assumed it was what I looked at it last, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it ended up being okay and stuff. But I was like panicking because I'm like, I don't call off sick.
I think I remember
don't
this.
Come in late. Yeah. It's not a good place to be.
No, it doesn't feel nice.
You realize you're supposed to be at work and you're not.
Yeah, at least it should be a bad feeling. Because I know guys that
don't care.
That were the complete opposite of that. They took pride in the fact that they were supposed to be there and weren't there.
We've got one of those. Shall we discuss what the cigar
thing?
is?
Yeah.
This is accurate to the paperwork.
'Tis correct. And I'm gonna get coffee.
He's gonna go get just the coffee. It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Just the Tip Cigars. Are you looking for the best selection of boutique cigars? Do you want the tried and true legacy brands that are synonymous with the cigar lifestyle? Do you want luxurious cutters, lighters, and other accessories? Do you want to relax in the most comfortable cigar lounge in the burg? Then you want Just the Tip Cigars. Conveniently located in the Bavarian Village Shopping Center in South Park, Pennsylvania, Just the Tip Cigars has been tailor-built to your smoking needs. Whether you visit in person or on the web at justthetipcigars.com. When it comes to cigars, Just the Tip is the whole package. Just the Tip is the whole package. If you want to know what the whole package is, today it is the CAO Flathead. We are smoking the 554, which is the camshaft. Layman's terms, that's a Robusto. But this cigar has a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Connecticut Habano binder, and Nicaraguan and Dominican fillers. Inspired by hot rods and pinup girls. Can't go wrong there. Nope. CAO Flathead is box pressed badass that hits on all cylinders. The front marks are named for engine parts, but the tribute to muscle cars doesn't end there. The packaging gives a nod to the muscle car engine with a lid that is easily removed and usable as wall art. And the boxes are pretty dope.
Yeah, they are cool.
And like one of the heavier boxes in terms of like the width of the wood, thickness of the wood that they use. They're pretty durable.
Yeah, they make good parts bins for sure. Again,
Yes.
They're made to be used for something else afterwards, which is a nice little get up so far.
What I appreciate about these is that they have some in bigger sizes too. The box press makes it easier to take the bigger gauge because it's flattened out. Yeah.
Yeah, the 660 flathead's one of the few 660s I don't mind smoking at all. Have you had this before?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure I gave you the spark plug. I don't remember giving you this one.
I've had the spark plug.
The spark plug was doper when it came in the spark plug box.
Yeah, when it had its own individual
They
box.
all came in a little cardboard box that
cool.
looked like spark plugs. This is awesome. Sorry, Jay, I didn't mean to step on you.
I've had quite a few of the CAOs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, I've say this every time we smoke something from them, but they're like one of the few legacy brands that was taken over by the conglomerate and actually still makes stuff that's like
Keeps going.
interesting and new and cool. You know what I mean? Like there's still some personality to this brand.
So who started CAO? Do you know? I don't know this one at all.
Is that Rick Rodriguez?
I know he was master blender and all that stuff for them, but I don't know who actually like originally started like CAO and what CAO even stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it was Rick Rodriguez, but I'm not sure.
Ozinger. I did know that.
So
Yeah,
Jason
it's
will
an
figure
Oz
it
cigar. Yeah.
out.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's right there.
I can't read it from there.
Yeah, it was
In 1968, the brand CAO was founded by Keno Aria Ozinger in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right. Like it's one of the ones that they've continued like the more craft boutique style marketing where it's actually like reaching out trying to grab, where your Macanudos, Monte Cristos rely a lot on their name and like their history. But like I do give them credit with Macanudo though. Like the Inspirado line was a good call. Like get away from the original blends, the Hampton Courts, stuff like that. And they started moving into the Inspirado line, which is just a simplified line where it's like, you know which color box you like, go get that color box. And they kept them simple, price approachable, all that. So Macanudo, I mean, General, for the most part, being the big conglomerate, does a great job with that. Where I think Altadis relies more on, hey, our cigars are good. Ask your grandfather, he'll tell you.
So here's an interesting question, Sam. If you could pick a cigar brand that was fantastic on its own, and then when it got sucked into the big conglomerate, went to absolute dog water, what would it be?
That's
Camacho.
Yeah. I could say that.
I was sitting here debating.
Not all their stuff is terrible, but that's also a hard question for us too, because our age and when we started smoking, most of those really big brands were already acquired by General and Altadis before we started smoking.
Well, then the question would go: what in your cigar lifetime, in your tenure in the cigar industry and hobby?
I think he answered that.
Yeah, I'd say Camacho.
Yeah,
the worst part about it is that was the Triple Maduro was my favorite cigar.
I knew where you were getting. Like I knew like you were going to relate to it too, which is why like hard eye contacted you whenever I said it. Like it's Camacho.
Yeah,
I mean, the Connecticut's still a decent stick. I just feel like they don't do anything with the brand. I'd say was the biggest thing. Like, there's no hype wagon behind them whatsoever anymore.
They did for a little while.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so what were the three they had? It was like Camacho, Avo, and there was another one too. It was like a person's name, and I really liked the cigar too. I remember which it was, but so they went into this big brand ambassador program, where like they had these celebrity people kind of behind different lines. And the one actually was one of the HBO shows was the one with the when a celebrity has like a bunch of people that follow him around. What do they call it? Entourage. So there was somebody from that show, Entourage, I think, that was like behind that brand, and they did a big push on rebranding them and new packaging and colors, and they made the boxes pretty and stuff.
Boxes and all that are fantastic.
And then I think they just were like, okay, we put enough into this and kind of let it just go. So
and then like they did that at the same time CAO did like the Soprano stuff, and CAO was doing that, and I think they just got beat down a little bit by the fact that like they were doing it and other people were doing it, and they just happened to do it a little bit better. Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe that was part of their motivation, was like they backed off because of it.
It could also just be that, and it's interesting too, because like they're owned by Davidoff, which Davidoff is not a big faceless company in the way that you think of the other ones. Like they acquired a few brands, and that was it. Like they didn't go through this, okay, now let's get these guys, let's get these guys. It's mostly these 3 lines that they picked up, and then they kept doing their own thing. And they did drop the one off. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was like initials and then a name. And then they started the back-to-backs with some like graffiti artists in New York. But they've been kind of quiet for a while, and they just keep kind of making their own stuff and then putting out. But they were doing like the barrel aged and all that stuff came out after the Davidoff purchase.
Yeah.
So they were putting effort into it for a while, but
I don't. And this is just like business ignorance. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but I don't understand when companies make something like the barrel aged. That's the Camacho that people look for, and I get asked about the most.
Yeah,
is that one. Like, oh, do you have these? No, I don't. Like they're not around anymore. Sorry, like I don't have them.
Right.
Why is so much effort put into putting out these limited cigars? Like put the effort into blending a new core line cigar, before you ride the limited wagon.
I think that kind of has a little to do with my other thoughts on Davidoff and Camacho. Is I think that they got the numbers they thought they probably reached the peak of what they were going to get, and they're like, okay, just leave that go now. Like you just figure it's going to keep going. But one of the biggest problems for cigar manufacturers in the industry is, what do people ask when they come into a cigar shop? Right. What's new? And people chase limited stuff. And I think that is just a matter of where the market has a tendency to go and what people get excited about, where the hype is. People, you're not going to hear anybody continue to just like talk about a product that's like the Padron, a great cigar. People keep smoking that cigar, but when's the last time you hear people like hyping and talking about, hey, that 64 anniversary or the 26 or whatever? It just kind of, people know what it is, and the guys that like it smoke it.
Yeah, I mean, conversation in the shop comes to it a good bit, I'll say that. But yeah, as far as like media attention, all that, but that's the difference, I think, in a lot of like the marketing and branding of Padron, is they don't have to do that. I mean, they don't have sales reps.
No, they don't. Like, they've become the standard.
Yeah, and because
so many, how many times you hear people go like, oh, it's like a Padron.
Yeah,
like that's a standard by which other cigars are measured.
Yeah, exactly.
So it cheats a little bit. Like it lives on by being something iconic, but at the same time, it's still not something that when they put out the 50 or the 80 year, you hear about that. That's cycled around everywhere and people talk about it, but
you hear it through the grapevine. You don't hear it through mass media distribution, stuff like that, which is why,
or social media.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a little bit different, because they do that on purpose. Like they don't market it, and that's what makes it desirable. Like people don't realize that it's out, but yet everybody knows it's out. It's a cool, different way of going about it. Since we're talking about brands, completely lost my train of thought. Wow, I have no idea what I was going to say.
That's fair.
That just completely left me.
So yeah, I don't know. It's it's probably a mixed bag of different things, but I think, you know, they looked at that as a purchase and an investment, and they probably figured they maximize the return on it and go, okay, let's just let that one roll on and put our effort into other stuff. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, like, I remember that being a big concern whenever the FDA regulations were really looming really bad, when you had the predicate date and it was like, okay, you've got to get in everything that you can by this date, and anything after is probably going to be screwed. And there were a lot of people going like, you know, from a retail standpoint of like, how's this going to work now? Because people come in and ask you what's new, and you're not going to have new so much anymore unless you cycle out stuff that you've been carrying and pick up stuff that you haven't. And especially for like a retailer that carries a lot of stuff, you know, the stuff they aren't carrying is because it didn't make the cut.
Right.
Or even if it was good, it wasn't as good as what they were carrying. So there's probably going to be a lot of strategy of going like, all right, we'll have to probably drop this off for a while and bring this in. But you're really looking at cycling the same old stuff. So it was, I think, a really big win for the industry that it was like, okay, no, like we, for now, are safe to keep putting out stuff. And like that killed some brands too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you look at a local person like Sam Lucia, who was kicking out all kind of stuff, and I think he was trying to hurry up and make bank before it was shut down, because he had those 3 great core lines with the Luchador, the Black and White series, and then he started pushing all this other crazy stuff, the Boilermaker, the Frog ones, the ones with the pipe tobacco, frog fries.
Frog fries.
He was just like pushing out new stuff all the time in small batches. I think he was just trying to like make the bank that he could before the end. And so like I'm glad that it's still like we could still have the ability to have this influx of new stuff. And I think the people that know go, okay, these are good and I'm going to smoke these regularly, but they still want to rotate. It's like the Lancero people. They don't often buy boxes of Lanceros. It's somebody comes in and grabs 5 different Lanceros out of your selection and goes, okay, these are the ones I'm smoking today. And then next week they come in and buy 5 different ones, because those people are interested in the journey and discovering new things and finding something new to interest them.
Well, and that's a lot of what I do here is I try and remind you of the stuff that you did like that you forgot about. So like I don't chase much of the limited edition stuff because I'm not ready for that crowd yet. Because once you start chasing limiteds, like I can have all these limiteds in here and that's fine, but I don't want it to be that my main customer base is the guys coming in chasing the limited and leaving, you know. And because I'm early days still, it's
it's a hard place to be in too, because you have to have like the chops as a retailer to be able to be like, hey, make me one of the guys you give that to.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is I think they've watered down a lot of the limited edition because everything's limited edition anymore. And it's like, all right, you know what? You guys keep those. Give me your core lines that nobody wants. What? Like, you know, there's actually one company where I called them. I'm like, hey, can I get this, this, and this? And they're like, yeah, but you can't have the other one. And I was like, oh, I don't want the other one. Well, you know, we understand a lot of retailers get disappointed and all that. I don't want that cigar. I want your core lines. Why? Because nobody markets your core lines. Nobody talks about the core lines that you have. You know, these are the ones that I have to buy so that I can carry the one that everybody already hypes and wants. And I'll take on those onesie twosie and pump them a little bit and have fun with the core lines. And then if they take off, now I've got the data for in the future to be like, hey, I got these to move last time. Mm-hmm. I'll do it. You know, but I'm trying to think of a good example right now. Not Viaje. Viaje is a perfect example. I don't carry Viaje here because the only ones I've ever anywhere heard anybody talk about is their limited stuff. Yeah. I don't even know the names of their core line stuff. And like, I don't want to have 30 facings so that I can have the 5 that sell. I'm not, I refuse to play that game.
And that's an issue too for someone that has like limited capital to put into inventory and going like, okay, I've got this much money and I can get these many products, and like you're putting your effort into making sure it sells. And like I've seen you run into building a brand here and then not being able to get it,
Right.
and the frustration of like selling this to people and like getting them on it, and then they come in and go, hey, can I get some more of those? Oh, I don't have them.
Yep,
And
I'm
it's
out.
like now you got to kind of start from ground zero and build them on something else.
So there's a couple things out of that. One, my mate, like with the Chasing Limiteds, not saying that you were implying this, but just came to mind. It's not a capital based decision. It's I think if I take a stand on like, hey, yeah, that's great, I'm not buying it. And if more retailers do that and more retailers say like, that's cool, but we're not buying your core lines just so we can have these.
Yeah.
Because like I got to put out all this money for all this inventory that's not going to move so I can get this stuff that does move. And a lot of times it washes and it's like, okay, yeah, those limiteds, they offset it. Like it was worth it. But then I got to blow out all this other stuff and I got to trash this other stuff to try and get it so that it actually can, sustain itself. There's a lot of work involved in moving 5 lines that don't move on their own just so I can have this one. So if I wash on these, okay, that's cool. Then I still have high margin on these, but like there's a lot of work involved in moving the stuff that doesn't move and finding a way to get rid of it or get it out of the way.
It's like going to go ahead, Jason.
That's something I've always been interested in. So when a cigar retailer like yourself, when you can't sell a cigar, or you're like, this it's trash, it's not moving, nobody wants it, what do you do with them?
I give them away.
Yeah.
I give them away. I'll sweeten pots with them and stuff like that. So like, I want to sell these 3 cigars and I want you to try these 3 cigars. Here's your 4th one that's free, or stuff like that. Like
or do you throw them in like grab bags and stuff like that?
I try not to, because first off, I'm still building my brand and my reputation because I'm so new. So like, I don't want the reputation of, oh, he gave me a free one. It was garbage, but he gave me a free one.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to be that guy. Like,
so it was that free cigar, and you get it, and you're like, oh, this thing's horrid.
Yeah, and that's like I've done it where like I'll put 2 or 3 of them in a bag that they're not good, with 2 or 3 that you bought, and just be like, here, give these a shot. So far, nobody has liked them, and like I'll hand them to people like that, and they love it because they're like, you know what, that wasn't bad. Do you have more of them?
About it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're upfront about it, and you're like, look, these aren't selling. Whatever. Just here, give it a shot. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it was free.
Yeah, I can't remember, Keith. I can't remember which shop it is that does it, but they do a last chance bin. I think it's Smokestack does it. But they do, and I think it's genius.
That's not a bad idea. So it's really good.
So like before it goes into the blowout bin, this is the last chance for the cigar. If these move and people start asking for them, I'll bring them back.
Yeah.
So like it's that precursor to blowing it out, and it's one more piece of information for you to base your buying on.
HBO did that. It was like, hey, these movies are going to be going away. This is your last chance to see them. So it's like, I like that because it's like, I'd look in there first because what's new is going to be on there for a while. But if this is your last chance to watch it, and then you're gonna be like, hey, I want to watch that movie I pay for HBO. You go on and you go, oh, I found out that like they dropped that last week. Its time was over.
Yeah, not like for them, they're saying this is your last time to do it with that last chance bin. It's, hey, this is the last chance for this thing to see if it's going to remain around. Like if you really like the cigar, you need to buy it so that my data tells me, hey, keep it
around.
Keep it in smaller quantities this time or whatever, may go with it. I mean, there's cigars that I bought that I thought were going to go crazy. And I bought, 25 boxes of it. And after the first 10 boxes, the hype wagon ended.
Yeah.
And they're done. Like they're just, people were tired of them. It's not exciting enough. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't mind having those 10 boxes because it is a quality cigar. Because of the way that I do things in the humidor where every cigar fits a bill. Like the 554 with a Maker's Mark Old Fashioned, this is my favorite cigar. Every time.
Ooh, right
I don't know why, but it just like they just blend really well together. There's like a citrus in this that I'm guessing is from that Connecticut Habano that it just works really well together. But do it with Liberty Pole, and this is not the right pick. Like,
sure.
So like the cigars are niche, and I try and find those niches and identify them, and then whenever the opportunity comes, that's when I sell that cigar. So it's about having it's like a parts store, right? I have to carry these parts for the one time that this guy needs a wiper blade screw.
Yeah.
Like, how often has that screw gone bad historically? Not often. But if I'm the one place that has it, that helps.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is gonna absolutely break my heart. Like it. So when I had, and I hate to go back to this, but when I had that, you opened up. What was the first cigar I pulled out of your humidor? The first cigar I pulled out of your humidor.
I think it's the first reference
Triple
of the
Maduro,
day.
right?
Yeah. It was the Camacho Triple Maduro. And I remember at giant table sitting here with the door on it. And me and you and Jim, me, you, and Jim were sitting here. Shout out to Jim, dude, wherever you're at. And I remember being so utterly disappointed in that cigar.
He's tasted better in North Dakota.
I was crushed, and it's gonna break my heart. Like I know your inventory is gonna cycle out, and it is gonna break my heart when like the Killer Bee and the Green Hornet aren't available anymore.
Yeah, when it comes to a time where it's not a thing, and that's the thing. Certain cigars, like they're part of it. Like that's gonna be part of it. You know, as long as that company makes that cigar the right way, it's gonna hang around. Because it has no problem moving.
By far my favorite cigar.
Yeah, incredibly strong. You know, something to pay attention to, without a doubt. Sorry.
And it's in fact my favorite. I don't know if they come in the bigger size, but the small one. Yeah, that is my absolute favorite of that cigar.
So they just came out with a new size. Well, not just a couple months ago, but they came out with a new size of it, which.
Really?
When I do this next buy, I'll have those coming in.
I'll definitely buy a couple of those.
Yeah, I want to try the bigger one and see, because it's going to taste different. Right? We've discussed this. Oh,
absolutely.
Ad nauseum, but it's going to taste different. But who knows? It might be a great thing. It might be better. You know? That's the game. That's
but
always
I think
half the fun.
Honestly, with that cigar, the Killer Bee, I think that's what I enjoy about it. It's small, and how long it lasts is very surprising to somebody who's not as experienced in smoking cigars. Well, I mean, shit, I've been doing it.
Getting there now.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Ting. But yeah, I am starting to have my chops on cigars, and when people ask me about them, I'm like, oh, these are a couple of my favorites, and I really like like Luciano. I really like Luciano's brand. I really like Blackworks and stuff like that. But I really enjoy the experience of that size cigar in just it as a whole.
Yeah,
really, really enjoy that one.
Well, that's Keith brought up a good point in his comment. He said on the pain of moving dead inventory, space is limited as well. It's costly having shelf space used up. And then Ryan Clement said, Jason, get me something to smoke when we hang out tonight. I trust your taste. So
obviously he's never seen your Schmedium t-shirts.
Ryan and I have been friends for like 28 years.
Is he part of the D&D thing?
He's
tonight?
the DM. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ryan's our DM.
But no, like with what Keith was saying there, one of the things I intend to do, and this is going to be a growing thing over the next couple of years, but the bottom 2 rows of shelves in there are all going to be bins.
Yeah.
And it won't be by brand or whatever. It's just these are the cigars that don't sell boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to display the boxes. I'll have them and they'll be there. But the goal is, then I can have more shelf space in the same amount of area, keep it still looking clean. Because that's one of the things. I like that my boxes aren't jammed in there and there's 30 of them twisted and tightly packed as they can be. I like keeping spacing on it. So that is a nice part of it. But, moving boxes versus singles is a whole nother aspect and another whole long conversation. What were you going to say?
So yeah, before, like, I've been trying to exercise being better about stepping on people today, but what happens is now I'm sitting on 2 things and I'm like, oh, I hope I get to say these before we get too far away.
I mean, we have spent the past 30 minutes talking about cigars.
Yeah. So I hate that it always comes back to him, but he's the OG. So Dave Garofalo has something that he does that might work well for you when your inventory is big enough and you can go, okay, we'll get people in the door. Every every year they do something called March Madness. So during March Madness, they take all the stuff that isn't selling really well and they're going to make room for new stuff, and they just really discount the crap out of it. Like I think it's by boxes typically. So like you'll come in and there'll just be a big table and this is everything that's marked down, and it's all marked down, right? And so then, guys could come in and be like, hey, I don't know what this is, but the price is really good. I could pack my humidor with it. Like maybe this is what, if I don't like it, this could be what I hand out to people that don't really smoke cigars when they come over. Or, hey, I like that brand. If they're getting rid of it, maybe I've been paying attention to what's new instead of like the stuff that I do like. It's not in my regular rotation, but I kind of really like that. Let me hurry up and grab 3 or 4 boxes of a cigar that I know I like, that's a decent fallback, and stock up. Again, I don't think that's a place that you have enough inventory right now to be able to necessarily do that, but it gets a lot of people in the door.
It's one of those things. That's one of those tools that exists, and you do everything in your power not to use it.
Sure.
Like, there's, and certain guys, and like this goes into buying habits and stuff like that. Like every week I sit down and I buy product. If, hopefully in the next, 6 to 8 months, I can move that to every month I sit down and I just order product, and I have, a big order day and a big in and out day. And eventually it gets to the point where the trade show gets used the way that trade shows are intended, where I meet you at the trade show, I buy what I'm buying for the year, and I have a couple orders throughout the year to fill in, onesie twosies. But you want to avoid doing that as long as possible, simply because once you get that ball rolling like that, it's hard to stop it. There'll be people that'll come in because they'll do the exact same thing as consumers that I was just saying for my buying power as a retailer, where they'll come in at Christmas, they'll buy 20 boxes, and that's their year.
Right.
They're done. And it's like, that's great. And I'm glad that, I was able to provide them to you. But business wise, do I want them at this markup or this markup?
Well, that's why I'm talking about it from an inventory standpoint, because we're talking about a guy that has 3 retail stores and does mail order.
Yeah.
And never spends less than $1 million at the trade show.
Right.
So he's sitting on a lot of inventory, and he can look at it and go, okay, I know I'm going to want to be picking up new stuff. Let's look at what's not moving, and this is our way to make the space. If you don't have all of that inventory, then maybe that's, I'm saying that's a future thing for like when you go, okay, I need to clear out some of this stuff. That's a cool way to do it, because you get so many bodies in the door. And even if they are making their big purchases, it is stuff that you like, hey man, this wasn't working anyway. Let's get it out of the way. I could get some new stuff in here. So,
well, then Ryan, his comment, he said, Dave has both the best and worst ideas in the industry. When you get to a size like his, it's awesome because you can just, all right, let's try it. Just, oh, that didn't work. Okay, you know what? Let's eat the loss and move on. This is covered, and that's where having a growth plan in place for a business is like a big part of it. Is, I want to do some of that stuff.
Yeah,
and I can't wait till that's the problems that I'm dealing with day to day. But like right now, it's my current escapade is I'm trying to make sure that the register works, because I would like to start hiring people soon.
Right.
Like I want that to be a thing that starts happening. So I need to make sure that that's lined up. Oh, payroll software and all that. I've hired a ton of people. I've never done it without an HR department though.
Right.
And people that's their job. Like, oh yeah, hey, how do I handle this? Like, what are the legalities? Like, I know, there's stuff I have to hang on the walls now. If I want to get somebody in here, like there's things I now have to go through these steps.
Jason will stop coming here whenever it says you must wash your hands in the bathroom.
Yeah. Like, please don't smoke poop sticks. I caught it that time. I feel like that should be an exception to the swear jar, because it has been named that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a name.
Here's the thing. You know what? Because you said it the way you did, it reminds me of a VHS that I've watched like a billion times when I was a kid.
Girls Gone Wild?
Well, that I just watched the trailer on the internet over and over. I didn't have the money for it.
What's funny about those videos is if you own 1 or 2 of them, you may be in possession of something illegal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got really hemmed up over that because a bunch of the girls and stuff that were in those videos were like 16, 17 years old.
Oh, so what I was getting at was a little bit friendlier, actually. I had a Winnie the Pooh video where they played a game called Pooh Sticks. They would throw their stick on that one side of the bridge and they would race the sticks out the other side, and whoever stick one came in first place. And I was thinking, oh, Jason's Pooh Sticks, that's a brand. You put like a little generic Winnie the Pooh on the band, and y'all went to underage girls. So like, it's not me today, guys. It's not me.
That's all right. I'm gonna pivot again for you real quick. Eric's here. That's the name of one of his porns too.
Oh yeah,
Pooh Sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pivot.
I think that was the follow-up to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Jeez. That's when they started producing Tootsie Rolls.
Episode 3, the Hershey Highway.
All I'm gonna say is Saris's chocolate-covered pretzels. Pooh Sticks.
Chocolate-covered pretzel. They're built melty, but my, are they exquisite.
Around the corner, fudge is made.
Oh,
there's a lot of
that was a Mallrats reference.
I was like, I got nothing.
No, I was just trying to keep it going with bad things. That's
you said you had a second thought. You were afraid we weren't going to get to.
It was what you were referring to when you're talking about like, hey, you need to buy these 3 in high quantities to get this one.
Yeah,
it's like that's like going to the mechanic and being like, hey man, I need brakes. Cool, we'll put them in for you, but you need a new you have to have windshield wipers, air filter, new brake lights. But like all those things, I don't need those things right now. I just need brakes. Well, and if my car can't stop, then the brake lights are irrelevant.
I know that marketing is well thought out and well researched at this point, but as a consumer, I always hated that. Like, if I want this, let me buy it. Just let me buy the thing that I want. And there's so much out there that, like, if you want this, you have to buy,
they're strong arming retailers, man. Like,
like not even from my side, like again, consumer side, like Black Label does the anthology boxes, and they put a cigar you can only get in that anthology box. What if I don't drink coffee? I got too many coffee mugs already. I don't need another Black Label hat. Like, what if I'm that guy where, like, I just want the cigar, man? Like, now I have to go get that on the gray market side of things, and I have to go pick it up somewhere else. I have to find another way to pick it up, or I got to get secondary. Can you just sell me the thing I want? And, like, that's my mindset as a consumer, was always just like, I don't want all this crap. Like, I don't want all this excess.
Secret Santa every year, like 2 or 3 out of the 4 people in our house at the Secret Santa things that are like the white elephant ones, because it's like a $5 thing. Inevitably, somebody gets one of those packages that has coffee mugs in it, or they get a coffee mug, and it's like, we have 30 coffee mugs in our house and one coffee drinker that uses the same cup every single day.
Yep.
I won't even take them home. I just leave them there.
Yeah.
Like, you're not bringing that into my house. We don't use them.
That reminds me of our work white elephant party. So luckily, one of the managers that worked closely with me and Corey had to leave. And he was like, Jace, I'll tell you what, you can have mine, right? You can have my ticket. Just make sure I get something.
Oh, no.
Well,
no, that's not where you.
Well,
no. I'm just thinking like a Powder Puff Girls mug or something.
Well, here's the thing.
He would have loved that.
Like,
Jason would have loved that.
80% of the stuff there was a bottle of liquor.
Yeah.
Right? And then there were like 7 or 8 like actual gifts. So I'm watching and I'm like, I'm going to trade out for a bottle of something somewhere along the line. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go grab one of the like gifts and just see what it is.
Because he was playing with company money.
Yeah,
he was like,
there's a dart board. There's all kind of other stuff. So I go up and I get this like weirdly wrapped package, right? Start tearing it open, and there's another package inside it. So I tear that one open, and there's another package inside that.
You're gonna work Eric up into a frenzy.
And then I get to the 3rd package, and I'm like, this is kind of like hefty, right? And I open it up, and do you know what it is? a freaking hatchet.
Like a camp axe.
A hatchet. A stinking hatchet. And the guy who bought it was, I hear him over there chuckling. And I look at him and I'm like, you realize that there was a $25
I think it was
minimum.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was 50. Yeah,
It was something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was a $50 minimum.
Yeah.
And this was like an $8 hatchet. And he's just sitting there laughing at it. I'm like, you turd.
Yeah,
No.
you're the worst.
It is like the same exact brand that you had 2 of already.
I had this
The
exact
same
hatchet
one.
at the house.
And so he gave that to the least handy person in our whole company.
Yeah, I get
Like the guy that he pays people to do all of his work. You know what I mean?
The one guy that will never touch a hatchet. Like,
Right.
Never.
He gave it to his son.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let him play with it. Go build something.
Not to mention that's like you brought a weapon to as a gift for a work function.
Well, that was his true intention. He didn't think anybody was going to pick that package, and he was going to use it later that night. So you saved a life.
That would have actually been funny if you go, hey, what'd you get at the work party? Oh, I got the hatchet.
I got the axe.
You got whacked, you know.
Seneca said maybe he's a closet juggalo.
Maybe he is.
I'm a juggalo.
I thought you said
Get the out of here.
I thought you said juggler at first, and I can't decide which one would be more fantastic if we found out he was a closet juggalo or a closet juggler. But what if he was both?
What if he was a closet juggernaut?
What if he dressed up in juggalo outfits and then just juggled things?
Here's an interesting little thing you didn't know about Jason. I can juggle.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
We're not talking about
Not even a little bit.
No?
No, not even a little bit.
he could juggle Richards.
I did see a fun, just a short, and it was watching people juggle from above.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty, like, it just looks like they're just going like this. It just looks like they're throwing them back and forth. Like, you can't, it doesn't look like they're.
I'd watch people do that with ball, and it looks like they're just floating. It's
Yeah.
so wild
Mhm.
to watch the overhead. Yeah,
You watch it overhead, and you're like, they're just going like this, and it makes no sense. And it's like, oh, wow, it's trippy. Yeah.
That's cool.
When you look at Jason's overhead juggling, it just looks like this.
Like a circus seal.
Why are you doing it with your
camera?
nose?
No.
Camera. You should have flipped the camera first.
Dude,
That was
could've-
another.
we could have
Jay
used
and
that
Silent
clip
Bob
for all
roll.
kinds.
Oh,
of
I
stuff.
know. We could have had so much fun with that one.
See,
Then,
I'm
like,
careful
just
now
put it-
because Corey's taking clips of me doing silly stuff and showing them to all the guys at work. So now I'm like,
we still have.
if I'm
to
going to
cut
do
that.
something stupid, I'm not going to put it on camera.
Everybody at work has now seen him and RJ do
Share
the
a
Lady and the
cigar.
Tramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still proud of that one.
That's pretty good.
But listen, you could put up a little video. Have
Least-
Weak Fish make you a little video. Just a tip. It's Sunday Fun Day, and you just got Jason going.
But like have it where like he goes like this and it pops up Liberty Pole, and then he goes like this and it pops up whatever cigar vendor it is. It goes like this again and it pops up just the tip.
You realize I now have both of you doing
Oh, yeah.
that.
Yeah, but see, we don't have the shame you do apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I don't think he has shame. I think he's feigning shame. He's pretending that he has shame.
It's.
I mean, you did go like mouth to mouth with RJ and rubbed his cheek.
That was the best part.
Eric over there's Eric's just beside himself.
Were you here when that show happened? I feel like you were out of town. I was like, it's
He
a
was
good
out of
thing.
town. He was out of town.
You would have been like, clean up on the leather couch, clean up on the leather couch.
At least they're easily cleaned.
I wonder if Eric buys you the 10 by 100 if you'll share that cigar with another person.
Like, Eric, are you gonna leave? I can't. I'm stuck to the seat. He just stands up.
Yay.
Oh my God, the visual.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
There's so
just-
much you get to live with that.
There's a
now.
reason he wears
Oh my
sweatpants
God.
every week.
I'm gonna drink bleach when I go home.
It's in my eyes. It's in my eyes. Oh man.
Times.
Oh, what news do we have, sir? Since
Are
we're
we
like,
gonna actually do the news?
we're,
I
like,
thought maybe
in
we'd
pretty
skip
far.
over. We could do the news. Jason, give me a beatbox or something. I don't know. It's time for the news. Lure cigars. It was a slow. It's been a few weeks of slow news after the trade show. That's typical. War Cigars has announced its first limited edition, The Last Cast. The Last Cast features a USA Connecticut broadleaf wrapper and a Nicaraguan filler and binder, apparently. Limited to 1,200 10-count packs. The Last Cast comes in one size, 6x52 Toro, 15 SRP. For that price point. CLE Cigar Company has begun shipping 3 PCA exclusives, one from each of its main brands, the CLE, Aroa, and Asylum. They were sold exclusively to retailers that attended the PCA trade show. Like the 23 releases, each of the exclusives incorporates tobaccos from their undisclosed South American farm, and they are differentiated by the wrapper. You got a CLE Connecticut, the Aroa is a Maduro, and Asylum is a Habano. Ooh. Room 101 has launched a limited edition release known as the Red Rocket. Insert jokes here.
Nope, perfect. He already got it's Booth. He's already got it covered.
Yeah. All I could think of is actually the Red Rocket truck stop. That's a gas station from Fallout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yep.
I can't.
I was like, I know I've heard of this.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. The blend. Oh, well, let's see. I skipped ahead a little bit. It's a project that was done in conjunction with Wilbraham. Is that a name?
Yeah, it's a
Wilbraham, Massachusetts.
It's actually where
retailer.
my brother-in-law lives.
All right, Sir Louis Cigars. The blend was developed at Tabacalero William Ventura in Tamboril, Dominican Republic. It features the Mexican San Andreas wrapper, an Indonesian binder, and tobaccos from USA, Nicaragua, and Dominican Republic in the filler. Presented in 10-count boxes, the Red Rocket comes in one size. It would be funnier if it was like a really small size.
Oh, yeah.
6x52 Toro. Pricing is $14 per Stike. And it's about all. June 15th. I'm going to nail it again. This is an event, but we don't do events anymore. June 15th, Troy Harper, this is for you, buddy. I hope you got your tickets in, your plane tickets and all that stuff figured out. We got the Pittsburgh Cigar Box Festival at Malone's Farm in Cole Center, Pennsylvania, featuring Shane Spiel's Snake Oil Band, the Electric Folk and Blues Band, Band G-Boy, Pierce Dipner, Jim Morris, Dar, Stella Bod, I heard that, Jason. The Mudslingers, Strum Junkies, Steve Harvey, and Final Time 2.
And the Smoking Blues.
I was going to say not least.
Smoking Blues. Well, you said and. So
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
You're right.
I misread.
No, I misread, and then I was going to like
correcting?
Cover it up by trying to be like, no, I was putting this big punctuation at the end.
Okay, so you did screw up, but you had already planned on fixing it, and then I interrupted it and made it awkward.
Planned for a lot of technical difficulties because Jason's doing sound for the show. So
I have faith in you, Jace.
So you're going to show up, and you're just going to see the please wait, coming soon thing, because he'd spend all his time on the little background.
I didn't even have that up today.
You know what? So I was talking last night. One of the cool things about this, and I'm not going to be able to do it, but like this is on a farm, so there's a lot of land. So like a lot of people are actually bringing tents.
Corey, don't touch the sheep. I don't care how bad they've been.
Supposed to do it. I think you have to like put their feet in boots and tie the boots to the fence. Is what somebody in Galvanized told me. They've got it all planned out.
It's hip waders.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. That's bad.
No, but like a lot of people are bringing tents and just camping there. Like that's encouraged. It's like an option. It's like that actually sounds super cool to like hang at a festival all day and then just like go chill in your tent afterward, not have to like drive home.
Yeah, nobody ends up in their tent, dude. That's just like the oh my god, what did I took too much. That's the whole.
Oh,
point
I
of the
thought
tent.
you were saying like nobody ends up in their own tent.
There's going to be people going around with balloons, selling balloons to people.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about.
100%.
You know
dude, that's such a great. I love that business. The business that
Ryan Seneca.
Do me
a favor?
I don't know. He's having some.
So I'm gonna hijack the podcast for
do
a moment.
Do it. No one's gonna notice.
I'm just gonna mute Corey. Okay, Junkies, listen. We are at. How long have we been doing this, Sam?
119 episodes.
119 episodes. So checking our numbers on YouTube, we are at 109 subscribers on YouTube.
Which is not enough.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Tis a marker nonetheless.
Indeed, it's a marker. But that leads me to my point. We need your help. We are trying to grow the brand and to grow the podcast, and we can't do that without your help. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe or share. Those are very, very important things. You know, I know we gloss over it a lot, but liking, sharing, subscribing.
Every platform.
Places like YouTube, Spotify, those are the big ones. Those are the big ones. YouTube and Spotify are the big ones. So please, I mean, like I said, it costs you nothing and means everything to us. Subscribe, like, comment, please. Sharing, that's very, very important. If you put it out there on your social medias, if you enjoy us, allow us to expand so that we can bring you guys a better product.
How you feeling about the cigar there, Jay?
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's weird.
It's
like,
a check-in.
like verbatim.
I'm done with mine already. It's gone. I liked it.
Wow. Bink. Powerhoused it. Somebody needed nicotine.
Yeah.
Somebody's got strong lips.
Chief's on that one.
Ain't fair. I got these little bird lips.
Eric's like, I have strong lips.
No,
Samuel?
no more. No more. Oh, sorry. No. God, no.
How your lips doing there?
They were better a minute ago. No, always fantastic, consistent. You know, I tend to the spark plug out of these as my go-to, but like I said, with like an old fashioned or something like that to sweeten it up, phenomenal. I would say like this and coffee, good, but not
great.
Not what I would have like leaned towards. Now a little bit of cream and sugar, something to sweeten up to make this a little harsher. Maybe at that point. E2.
I likes it. It's pretty enjoyable. So I was trying to find, here it is, the cartoon version that I did on karaoke night. I was wearing my Eric is Mr. Big Head.
Yes.
Oh my God. Mr.
We started
Big
talking
Head.
about his lips,
Big
and
Head.
I had to say it. Had to bring it up. It was pretty good. So I got you something there, Sam. Technically, I don't have something for you, but somebody sent me something to give to you on the show.
Okay.
It's from your buddy Louie. You get the first Luciphone.
Yes.
Because you donated all of the coffin boxes. He was very appreciative. You can get these at the Cigar Box Guitar Festival in limited quantities. I believe he's selling them for $10 each. It's a kazoo.
Does it
kind of
make it make noise?
No, other way, buddy. I know you're so used to putting it on the hole. That's the trumpet end. Yeah,
I'm not used to putting my lips around it. I'm used to putting them up to it.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to hum into it.
It's going to take some practice.
Hand that sucker over here.
Don't you know? I don't share. I don't. Yeah,
I put my mouth on it.
But it is really cool what he did. And no, bad Eric.
So he has like a box of these that he made. I have one that I've already had put aside for Shannon so she could play along at the show. So we've got one, but $10 a piece. They're going to go very, very fast. They're wild, man.
Yeah.
So
and it's
you don't want to put it in Jason's reach because he knows he's gonna put parts on there.
Not so much.
Welcome to the group, Nicholas Strunk, Howard Walmsley, Howard Walmsley. Howie, appreciate you. Special shout out to Troy Harper's buddy in New York, Heath Tex Davis. He's been pretty active on the page recently. I'm gonna even call him the participation trophy of the month winner. Week. It's been a while since we've had one.
Minutes since we did.
Like I love our guys, but it's the same people posting stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit.
Seth Jones can only win so much.
That's right. Where's Seth Jones? He'll get up on Sunday mornings.
Like sending him stuff.
Yeah. So anyhow, he asked me to give a shout out to his buddy Heath. So So shout.
Absolutely.
Shout. Let it all out.
By the way, hello Troy Harper. Just saw you on there.
Hey, just in time.
Seneca said, just give it to Eric. He'll immediately break out some blues tunes.
My wife hadn't subscribed yet. Jason, it's working.
You got one.
Yes.
Yes.
That, hey, Shannon, that makes 110.
That's what she said.
No,
she says 110 now. I just subscribed.
Yes.
LOL.
It's like a 1% increase.
Yeah.
That's it.
You
It's that easy.
finally got it.
Who's going to be who's going to make a 2% increase since Jason did it? That's the question.
Jason's been fishing in the same pond for 119 different times, and he finally caught the one fish in there.
That's it.
And it's not bad.
I'll continue to fish.
Keep going. Keep spinning.
Just keep casting. Keep casting.
Oh,
That'd be a fun way to do it. Be like, all right, it's time to go fishing, and push the button here. Whizz, bloop.
Let's see what cigar news we caught this week, boys. And you have a little bit of kazoo music going in the background at the same time.
Maybe. I think he wired that one backward. It sounded like a dying dinosaur.
Yeah, that was. There was some technical difficulties on my part, being that I have no idea how to play a kazoo. So you're like, you have to hum into it. I'm like, good to know. That
you got to give it. He should call them Louis Hummers.
Ooh.
Yeah, just put it right down the side there. We do have a blank.
It only works if you reach around with your fingers and plug the hole. I'm not wrong.
No,
I figured we were just going for how long we could get that pregnant pause
for all the people that are listening out there. you just missed.
There was an awkward moment.
That pregnant pause was like on its 7th trimester.
I know. I like the Lamonophone. It just sounds fancier.
The Lamonophone.
Yeah, he calls them Luciphones.
The Luciphones.
Yeah.
I dig it.
That's something Jason does all the time, Luciphone.
You are about it.
It's with his keys.
Dude, I don't know how you... Yeah, and the bad part is you're not the worst. There's one guy that, like, he's left his laptop sitting on the table and just left. Phone, lighter, like, every time he's here, something gets forgotten. Now, like, at the door, it's a big joke. Like, everybody will just be like, hey, what'd you forget? He goes through, and somehow he still manages to, like, he'll get that reminder, and he still manages to forget something every time. To include a box of cigars one time.
Oh,
whole box. The whole reason he came in, just left it sitting on the couch.
That's a win for you. Sell them twice.
There you go.
Have you gone to karaoke yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Did you end up running the board? No. Because I almost did.
Nah, his was all like that. That was the first run he's ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he's a nice guy.
He literally unpackaged it before you got here. Like, it was all new. He got all new equipment, so he's got his own stuff now.
Yeah,
nice. But there's like he needs some like reverb and stuff. There's no built-in effects on this board, and so I'm like, ooh, it's a little dry. But I'm like, and they're educating him like. I felt like a little douchey for it, I think, but like he was enthusiastic, so I was like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah,
he's a really cool guy. I like
nice.
him a lot. Like him a lot.
He's funny. He's like, I gotta get a better name. I was like, what? He's like, you just keep calling me DJ Mark. He's like, I never actually thought about the fact I needed a DJ name for this, and I'm like, yeah, you got to get something that we can say like who it is that's here. Like, it's DJ Mark, because I'm sure there's only one DJ Mark. I'm gonna start calling him DJ Bethel Park. Just like, hey, there, enjoy that. It's something. Like, no,
my mind. I'm trying to find a name, and I just ain't got one.
Appletini. We call him Appletini most of the time when he's here. So,
I appreciate DJ Appletini.
He's about one Appletini away from turning into Eric's team. So that's the normal joke to him. Hey, Eric's all upset because he found out yesterday he's being replaced.
Who's being replaced?
Eric.
We did it once.
Yeah. Well, for time slots that he's not here, we have to hit our quota.
We've been rotating
demographics,
guys
so
here.
Like, we're gonna basically just have Appletinis ready. So if he's not here, we can just hand one to Mark and demo reached.
Gotcha.
See,
it's okay. I think Seneca's right on the hairy edge anyway. If we needed somebody, that cockatiel haircut he's got going on over there, he's one cracker away.
It's like his haircut's almost like. He forgot to go to Marine training this morning.
He went to Great Clips. You heard he went to Jared? He went to Great Clips.
My goodness.
It looks
Ryan.
It looks like his
you work on a stinking helicopter.
Just stand
Okay,
up.
you are a medevac, whatever, paramedic or whatever it is. That can't be a $7.95 an hour job.
He spends all his monies on cigars and
Go to a barber.
Yeah.
What?
No, don't say it too loud, dude. You don't want to give him that bad rap.
yeah.
Good God.
It's like his Floby got possessed by a poltergeist halfway through.
House of Perusa, that guy cuts hair.
I told him, I tried to convince him to go there, and he went and got that.
That guy cuts hair like he's a barber.
That's kind of his thing. Huh?
Yeah, he's a barber.
He looks like a walk-on for Phineas and Ferb.
There's 108 days of summer vacation, and school comes around just to end it.
Oh, that's
I love Phineas and
so
Ferb. Phineas and
accurate,
Ferb's such a
though.
good show.
That's
So accurate. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
Oh,
He's like,
my
is it the
God.
Dorito head kid? No, he's not the Dorito head. He's
It's
the other
Ferb.
kid.
Oh,
I don't know their names.
oh my god.
But Shannon, if Shannon's still listening, she's going to be singing that song all day. That was her favorite show to watch. With
Oh,
the
I
kids.
love
Yeah, she
Phineas
already
and
said
Ferb.
my favorite cartoon.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
be
there
singing
we
all
go.
day.
No.
So-
Oh, he is. Look,
That's why I
look,
said
Daddy, it's right there.
It's-
That's Ryan Seneca.
show the
my
kids
God,
watching
I
at
gotta
home.
show the kids at home this.
It's 104 days, not 108 days.
My wife was going like, why do they get so much more summer vacation than you guys? You guys only get like 72 days.
Yeah, my daughter said the other day, she was like, Phineas and Ferb lied to me. There he is, Ryan Seneca.
Yep. Does that make Eric like Perry the platypus?
No, Eric's
that guy.
is definitely.
Schmoofenberg, the bad guy?
Yeah, there he is,
What,
right
the German
there.
name?
Yeah. I didn't know Phineas and Ferb predicted the future too.
Doofenshmirtz. Doofenshmirtz.
Seneca says we suck.
That's perfect. This is what we're gonna do.
It's funny because it's true.
Well, this went a lot deeper than I thought it was going to. threw that
Ryan,
out
you
there.
need an orange.
Yeah, but there's Lindsay.
That's hilarious.
Oh, dude, bring her in an orange Girl Scout outfit. Halloween is solved. Problem
Taken
solved.
care of.
Ryan and Lindsay this year is going in as Phineas, and I don't even know the
you get
chick's
Ross
name.
to dye his hair green.
Dude, you're so proud that you just remember his name right now, huh?
No, I was trying to think of who's the other one. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. Jason's the guy on the bottom left corner.
This guy?
Yeah, I had no idea. Just I'm pretty sure I've seen you come in that shirt too.
I do have a Punisher
Yeah,
shirt.
that's awesome.
There's a cream in Galvanized that looks exactly like Carl from Jimmy Neutron.
I don't know who that one is.
You don't know
my
Carl from Jimmy
God.
Neutron?
I never
I
watched
talked to
Jimmy
him the
Neutron.
other day, and he said that, and I was like, "Oh my God, Corey is right."
Yeah, dude. You never watched
never
Jimmy
watched that
Neutron.
one.
He's like this big, hefty, redheaded kid with glasses, and he talks in that really high voice.
Oh, I do know who you're talking about. Yes.
And then the quality guy over there, Brian, who's he look like?
Oh, he looks precisely like Buzz Lightyear.
That he has that as his name for like the Teams chats. Like that's the picture that comes up, and it's like you're looking right at him.
Oh,
Buzz Lightyear, 100%.
Yeah,
that's Carl.
That's the galvanized cream, right there.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yep, that's him, 100%. Let's see if I can get to there. We go. There it is.
We could have like a whole team of cartoon people in our life. It'd be good.
but see, like yours is just any bald guy with a goatee. Like yours is too easy.
Yeah,
we got to find.
Stone Cold.
I mean, we got Luigi, but like, there's got to be a better. At least, I'm trying to think of one that's not a pedophile for you.
Damn, Almighty.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to start getting caricatures for everybody.
Wario, still pretty good. Yeah, I know.
Final thoughts on the cigar.
I'm going back to that guy that came in, that you got up for. Is he a regular here? No, he reminded me of like if Bert Kreischer and Larry the Cable Guy like had a love child. That was what I was picking up there on that one. I am Goldberg. You mean from the WWE? I don't know who Goldberg is.
I don't either.
You know who Goldberg is?
I know who Goldberg is.
I know. Yeah, Gilbert is what he meant. He's
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah. In 1992, Bob Saget raped and killed a girl.
Indeed.
You guys ever see that roast?
Mm-hmm.
He spends 2 minutes repeating that over and over again.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Well, apparently I am a poorly made statue of The Rock, right? From the Fast and Furious, because that the little Corey that
you're the Timu Rock.
Yeah, Timu Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
If Dwayne Johnson's The Rock, Corey Banks is the Pebble.
All right, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
That's good.
What the heck? Bob Saget died as a result of blunt head trauma?
Yeah, he fell. Dunk. He pulled a timber. Yeah.
Tim Burton?
Yeah, he. That guy's
What you got
weird.
going on here?
That's a strange individual.
Yeah.
You got to look up Gilberg. I don't know what Gilberg is.
Gilberg?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Timu version. Maybe that is what I am. Maybe it makes sense now. Like I'm not
Gilberg
quite
and then
Goldberg.
WWE.
I'm Gilberg.
He did BERG. Oh, no, there he is. Okay, let's get it.
Oh, Gilberg is a wrestler.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Was it a midget version of Goldberg?
Go back and
Just
do
look at
the
images. Google images. Yeah.
See what we got here.
I like it.
All right, we found another one.
I could be down with that.
Well played, Ryan.
It
well
works.
played.
And here I thought it was just a typo the whole time.
That's at first I was like, wait, Gilbert.
Oh, not gold.
What you can't see in that picture is Eric pinching his ass in the background. That's the face.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is the Timo Goldberg.
Yeah. Like he went from that to that.
It's like that's what alcoholism will get you.
He could have been this.
Instead, he chose.
I don't have that much hair on all of my body combined.
Could have been that. We got this.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't smoke crack. You should avoid crack and crack-like
he's
substances.
One of them kids in West Virginia with like his dad's VHS, just like hitting his friends with chairs. You know,
His uncle dad,
jumping off of ladders. Through
Yeah.
tables
His
uncle
and
dad.
stuff. Yeah, for sure. So, when's the next show? It is
Next week.
Yeah, I gotta calculate. So what's
Next Sunday?
The 9th?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think of a date. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. Often I'll plug the date in.
2 plus
So,
7 equals.
Sunday the 9th. There you go. That's not bad.
Doo-doo.
All I can think about is Thursday, because Thursday the 6th is my daughter's graduation.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
man.
so we're pretty hyped up about that. And I took the day off of work, so I'll get myself a nice little 5-day weekend. But I'm sure Craig will find a way to mess that up for me.
Oh, I think it's funny. I looked at the calendar for July. You've got the first week. Craig has the second week. I have the third week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just bam, bam, bam.
Boom, boom, boom.
July's a popular month.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to Boy Scout camp in July.
Not dressed like that, I hope.
Not if
Okay.
not if the kid's parents find out.
Yeah. June 20th, I actually have an event at 1781. We're doing.
I saw that.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But 1781 Country Club, it's the old Scenic Valley for anybody who's local. But if you can come out, we're gonna have Macanudo, CAO. He's bringing a pile of swag.
Everybody
to
we
do
talked about
giveaways.
today.
Scenic Valley, that's out in like Finleyville area, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like right there. But yeah, just it sounds like it's going to be a really good turnout. Putting competition to win a new putter, bunch of regular swag, stuff like that.
This never made sense to me, okay?
Okay.
I would go to golf outings and they'd be like long drive contest, win a new driver. Longest putt contest, win a new putter. Why the hell would I want a new putter if I won the longest putt with the stick I'm using?
with the one I have.
You give it to the guy that does the worst.
I just bombed this 340-yard drive with the driver I've had for 15 years. You're going to give me a new driver, and then I'm going to go out and suck with it?
You just gave me a great idea. I'm going to go down to Sunset Golf and be like, look, can I borrow one of your putters and make that the putter that everybody has to use, but like a ridiculously short one, like a kid's one, and just add
I
that.
could win.
Yeah,
That'd be my size.
But it'd be fun.
If we did the putt contest with a generic putter, right? So everybody has to use the same putter. That would be kind of cool.
Well,
what if it had
plan,
a rubber shaft?
Yes. But no, sorry, I said the wah 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 wah, and then I realized like I was talking about the rubber putter, and then I pictured Chevy Chase.
Side note, that was Eric's wrestling name, the rubber putter.
The rubber putter.
I like you just did a Snoopy.
You did too. But no, maybe, I mean, my plan up till now was everybody uses the new putter.
Mm.
That way it's equalized on that.
Yeah,
And
sure.
then, you know, then at the end,
That makes sense. It's like a Excalibur kind of thing, like or Mjolnir, like he who is worthy.
yeah. But I
Sure.
But I feel like if I can just like borrow a crappy putt one from him, that would just be way funnier.
That would
like,
be cool.
Just hand everybody this pink, like child's putter. Just be like, go for it.
Because honest to God, I thought about the day of that event golfing before the event.
What day?
June 20th.
Like maybe ask Ryan
It's a
Seneca
Thursday.
if he wants to go out and golf
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that morning.
Thursday, June
Unless you
20th
work.
from 6 to 8-ish.
Thursday,
It's a Thursday.
June 20th.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
take the day off.
That's whack.
I like it. Ryan, put it in your
Yeah, I
calendar.
probably ain't gonna be there.
No?
What time is it?
6 to 8-ish.
What
I keep hearing everybody talk about the restaurant up there. I haven't eaten there yet, but I've
3
heard
to 11.
nothing but like rave reviews about the restaurant.
I'm gonna put a vacation day in Monday.
My suggestion has been like go up there at 4, get a bite to eat, and then come over for the cigar event. Unless you're a golfer, then go golf, then do it. But
Right.
I mean, I keep hearing just like amazing stuff about the restaurant up there. I guess their chef is fantastic and very creative. So
My doctor told me I need to get less fat.
yeah, but you're talking fancy people food, so it's probably made with like healthy stuff.
Salmon.
Or worse.
Yeah,
I'm
All right,
trying
boys,
to
let's
lose the
wrap
weights.
it up.
yeah. Let's do that thing.
Yeah, we could do things. While we're playing the background music, hopefully at the right time this time, jump on the cigarjunkies.com and see the stuff we do. Get the shirts we wear. You be cool like us.
I likes it. Salud.